So guys, finally we have every single thing on home care worker immigration pilot programs. We have the document checklist, we have the forms, the steps on how to apply, as well as the eligibility criteria. So yes, I'm super excited to share all of this with you. And oh my God, it's just something that we all have been waiting for a very long time. And the program actually officially opens on March 31st, 2025, but we have all the details and I'm gonna share with you everything so that you guys can be prepared for this big release. And yes, I'm so excited. Make sure that you do not skip the video and watch till the end because there's so much for you to learn. By the way, my name is Shivani and I am a licensed immigration consultant from Waterloo, Ontario, and I'm also the founder of Zeste Immigration Services Incorporation. This channel is all about Canada immigration related updates, new programs, their eligibility criteria, and so on. So if you're interested in these topics, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and also hit the bell icon so that you get notified every single time I post a new video. So guys, Canada offers a unique opportunity for home care workers to immigrate and build a new life through the home care worker immigration pilots. If you are a home childcare provider or home support worker, this program could be your pathway to permanent residency. So let's start with who can apply. So to qualify for these pilot programs, you must plan to live and work in Canada, but outside the province of Quebec, meet the eligibility criteria for the specific stream you're applying to, meet the language requirement, meet the education requirement, have relevant work experience or training, have a valid job offer as a home childcare provider or home support worker, and be admissible to Canada. Now let's look at the stream eligibility. Now there are two streams under this pilot program. Number one, Workers in Canada stream, which opens on March 31st, 2025. To apply under this stream, you must already be living in Canada, be authorized to work full-time in any occupation but non-seasonal, have a valid work permit or maintain status. Now let's see who is not eligible. So business visitors, students working under study permit conditions, people working without a valid work permit, well, these are the people who are not eligible technically. Now, what if your work permit expired? Well, in this case, you may still qualify under a public policy for out of status or unauthorized workers. To have more information on this, please check out the RSCC website. Stream number two in this pilot is applicants not working in Canada stream. That means this stream is for people who are from outside Canada, who have experience in this field from outside Canada. Now, this stream is currently closed, but it would be opening at a later date, perhaps by the end of this year. This stream is for applicants from outside Canada. Most of the requirements for this stream is exactly similar to the requirements that I just discussed for a stream number one for people inside Canada. However, this stream is for applicants outside Canada. Now, to qualify, you must prove you have enough settlement funds to support yourself and your family. And the proof of funds requirement, as of today on the RSCC website, this is what I see, but you guys have to keep checking time to time to see the latest updates. Maybe the proof of funds could change at any time because it's subject to change at any time. An acceptable proof of funds, so let's talk about it. Your funds must be readily available and legally accessible when you apply and your permanent resident visa is issued. Now, acceptable forms of proof can be bank account statement, bankers drafts, checks, travelers checks or money orders, official letters from financial institution confirming your account details, etc. Now let's look at language requirements for both of the streams. You must take an approved language test to prove you meet CLB or NCLC level 4 either in English or French in each ability: listening, reading, writing, speaking, everything. When it comes to education requirements, you must have at least a Canadian high school diploma or its equivalent. If your education was completed outside Canada, you'll need to get an ECA, which is Educational Credential Assessment, to verify that your education is equivalent to Canadian high school diploma or higher. Let's also see what is not accepted. So borrowed money, real estate equity, these are the things that are not accepted as proof of funds. Now let's look at the most crucial requirement of these streams, which is work experience or training requirement. Now, depending on the HCWIP stream you apply to, you need work experience or training in one of these NOC codes. There's more on work experience or training requirements that RCC has published. You must have 6 months of continuous full-time relevant work experience in the last 3 years or completed a relevant training credential in the past 2 years. Now let's look at the eligible and ineligible work experience requirements in depth. To qualify, you must have at least 6 months of work experience either inside or outside Canada. Your work experience must meet all of the criteria. Number one, it has to be eligible work experience in the relevant NOC code. Here are the categories. So your work experience must fall in one of the two NOC codes related to the pilot program you're applying for. Pilot number one is home childcare provider. So eligible occupations for that pilot is right over here. What is ineligible for this pilot is foster parenting, which does not count, and work as an early childhood educator, daycare teacher, or supervisor also does not count. Now, for home support worker pilot, here are the eligible occupations and NOC codes. There is a special consideration here that work experience in NOC 33102 gained in an institutional setting, for example, long-term care, may be eligible. Well, your experience must be within one pilot category, either child care or home support. If you have expertise or experience in more than one occupation, they must fall under the same pilot. For example, if applying under the HCWIP childcare, your experience can include both childcare provider and early childhood assistant. Now let's look at job duties alignment. Your work experience must match the NOC job description and include most of the main duties listed for that NOC. Also, your work experience must have been gained after you turn 18 years old. Now let's look at the recency of experience. So experience must have been gained within the last 3 years before applying. Any work experience after submitting your application does not count. And if you haven't completed the 6 months of required experience before applying, your application will be refused. Now let's look at the continuity of work experience. Your work must have been continuous, meaning at least 6 consecutive months of employment. A reasonable vacation period, for example, 2 weeks of paid leave within 52-week period is acceptable. If you change jobs, there must be no breaks between them. Also, you must have worked at least 30 hours per week in paid employment. If you worked multiple part-time jobs simultaneously, they count only if they add up to 30 hours per week for 6 consecutive months. Now let's look at the work authorization requirement for experience gained in Canada. Your work must have been authorized and completed while holding temporary resident status in Canada. This includes work done under a valid work permit, maintained or implied status, or under a public policy authorization. If your experience was unauthorized, you may still be eligible under a public policy. Now let's look at ineligible work experience. The following do not count towards the work experience requirement. Number one, work experience gained as a full-time student, self-employment experience, periods of unemployment, and long-term sickness or parental leave. None of these count. So in order to qualify, you need either work experience or training. So now let's look at the training requirements in detail. To qualify, you must have completed a relevant training program of at least 6 months either in Canada or abroad. The training must be focused on one of the following NOCs. Please note that this does not include early childhood educators, daycare teachers, or supervisors. Also, remember to be specific to one pilot stream, either childcare or home support. You may have a mix of occupations, but only within the same pilot. Also, be at the post-secondary level. Be full-time, meaning at least 15 hours of training per week during the academic year or study period, and be delivered primarily in an in-person classroom setting. And also have started when you were at least 17 years old and be completed within the 2 years before you apply. If your training was completed from outside Canada, then an ECA, means an educational credential assessment, is not required unless you are also using the training to meet the education requirement. Now let's look at what does not count as training. So training for occupations outside the listed NOCs in medical field, for example, but those will not count. Any trainings that was done primarily online would not count, and any on-the-job training would not count. Moving on to the next step, which is securing a valid job offer for the home care worker immigration pilots. Before applying for the home care worker immigration pilots, you must obtain a genuine job offer as either a home childcare provider or a home support worker. Now let's look at employer requirements. Your employer should ensure they meet all necessary requirements to hire through the HCWIP program. The job offer must be legitimate, and you should be capable of performing the required duties based on your training and work experience. Now let's look at the job eligibility criteria. The job must meet the following conditions. Number one, be classified under the appropriate NOC code. Number 2, be located in Canada but outside the province of Quebec. Number 3, be full-time continuous position, minimum 30 hours per week, and be a permanent role, so it should not be contract or seasonal or should not have any end date. Now let's look at the job offer requirements. The job offer must clearly state the hourly wage, employment conditions, and job duties, be genuine, meaning there is a real need for the position. The employer can meet all job conditions, including salary payments, and the employer complies with IRCC and federal or provincial laws. Offer a wage equal or above the job bank's median wage for the occupation in the specific province or territory, or national wage if no provincial rate exists, and comply with the union agreements if applicable. Now let's look at employers' eligibility. Employers must have a Canada Revenue Agency CRA business number, fall into one of the following categories. So they could be either private households, businesses, or non-profit organizations providing care services for at least 1 year before issuing the job offer, or direct employer-employee relationships, meaning they are responsible for hiring and managing workers, setting work conditions, paying wages. Eligible organizations could include home healthcare service providers, home care support services, direct care agencies, or pediatric home healthcare providers. Now let's see who cannot be an employer. So recruitment or placement agencies, embassies, high commissions, consulates, or diplomats, employers with non-compliance history, self-employed applicants, family members, so spouses, parents, grandparents, children. Now let's look at the employer documentation. Your employer must complete and sign the appropriate employment information form. Look at the details here. These forms must be digitally or manually signed and uploaded as part of your online application along with your job offer. If additional verification is needed, IRCC may request further proof of job authenticity from your employer, providing them with specific submission instructions. Next steps is how to apply. So let's look at the application process for the home care worker immigration pilots. So as I mentioned earlier, the home care worker immigration pilots will begin accepting applications on March 31st, 2025 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, with a deadline of March 30th, 2026, or until intake cap is reached. Now let's look at the available application slots. The stream number 2, which is applicants not working in Canada stream, means for people from outside Canada. That's currently closed, and the number of application for the stream will be announced later when it opens, probably later this year. So guys, your step 1 here is prepare before the pilots open. Since application slots may fill up quickly, it's important to gather all necessary documents, forms, and fees in advance. Applications will be accepted starting March 31st, 2025 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time until intake limits are reached. Now, if the intake cap is reached before the deadline, the application cycle will reset on March 31st, 2026. Step number 2 for you guys here is to create an account or sign in. All applications must be submitted online through the permanent residence portal. Applications are not being accepted yet. The online portal will open for submission on March 31st, 2025 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So gather all required documents, ensure eligibility, and be ready to submit as soon as the program opens. Step number 3 for you guys here is select the right application category. Once you're in the permanent residence portal, follow these steps. Number 1, select economic when asked about the program you're applying for. Number 2, choose the appropriate pilot and subcategory based on your eligibility. Be careful, guys. Ensure you select the correct category, because choosing the wrong category may result in your application being returned or refused. If the cap is reached before you apply, you won't be able to start a new application for the category in the portal. If you started an application before the cap was reached, you won't be able to submit it. It will expire after about 30 days. Step number 4, prepare your forms and documents. Use the correct document checklist for your stream. Now guys, this is as of today on the IRCC website, but make sure that you keep checking things time to time, especially when you're applying, because things are subject to change or subject to be modified or added. So please make sure that you are always updated. So complete all sections of the forms. If something doesn't apply, write not applicable. If you need extra space, attach an additional page, complete it, and upload it with your application. Missing signatures or incomplete applications will result in your application being returned. If you're missing a required document, provide a written explanation for each missing document, include any supporting evidence to justify why you can't provide it now, and upload these documents under the correct document type in the portal. IRCC will review your explanation and decide if your application will still be processed. Step number 5, fill out required forms in the PR portal. Step number 6 is upload additional signed PDF forms if applicable. If any of these apply to you, sign and upload them. Step number 7 would be to upload any additional required or supporting documents if you have. So check your checklist for the full list of documents. Most will have a clear upload category, such as proof of work experience or proof of previous relevant work experience, etc. Some documents must be uploaded under other, including job offer, proof of training, proof of legal entry, proof of work authorization, or so on. So just look into all of this. Now let's look at the photo requirements. One recent photo taken within the last 12 months for yourself and each family member, even if they are not coming to Canada, is required. Ensure your photos meet the required specifications mentioned on the IRCC website. Step number 8, pay your application fees. So look at the IRCC fees for the program. Pay it if you hire any authorized legal representative, maybe like a consultant or a lawyer like us, then you are going to have to pay their charges as well. Make sure that you look into all the details and get the process started. But as far as the IRCC fees is concerned, make sure that you pay your fees online before submitting your application and include your payment receipt in your application. Step number 9 would be finally submit your application. But before submitting, double check that you answered all questions, signed and uploaded all required forms, uploaded all the documents as per the checklist, uploaded the proof of payment, means the receipt, and just make sure that all documents are included. Any incomplete applications will be rejected. You will need to correct errors and resubmit only if the gap hasn't been reached. So guys, it's really serious thing. If your application is submitted, IRCC may ask your employer for additional proof of your job offer. So ask them to be prepared. Now let's see what happens after you apply. So first of all, you're going to have to keep your information updated and report if there are any changes, such as family composition changes, marriage, birth, address update, etc. Eventually, if the process goes smooth, you'll be asked to do biometrics, medical exams, etc. But please do note, guys, that your application may be refused if your health poses a risk to Canada's public health or safety, or places excessive demand on healthcare or social services. If your application is complete, you'll receive an acknowledgement of receipt, which is AOR, and a file number. If your application is incomplete, it will be returned to you without processing. So track your application status. Use the application tracker for the real-time updates given by the IRCC. If you are with us, we are always there to keep updating you. Or if you are with any other consultant or lawyer, please do ask them to keep sending you all the updates and keep on telling you as in like what are the next requirements, what are the next steps and everything. So keep you updated on all of that. So yes, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope I was able to give you all the detailed information that you need to know for these programs. And be ready, guys. You still have time. Just get everything prepared. And I wish you all the very best. If you need my help with the application process, feel free to contact us at www.zestcanada.ca. I'll be more than happy to assist you. The link to book a consultation with me is in the description box. And you can also maybe Google us, Zeste Immigration. You'll find all the details there as well on our website. And I'll be more than happy to assist you guys. All the very best. Take care. See you guys next time in the next video. Bye-bye.